What is going on, guys? Jack here and welcome to a Football Manager 2019 video, and today I want to show you guys a technique for finding regens or new gens, depending on how you want to call them, at the start of your FM19 save. This currently works in the beta. I don't know if it's going to work down the line, but it's a very powerful and very good from what I can see. I want to show you guys it. I don't know if I'm the first person to find this. I'm going to try and claim credit, why not, even if I'm a week late to the party. Anyway, as you can see on screen here, we have our Bayer Leverkusen save. This is going to be my beta save. This video might be coming up before the first episode of this series, or it may be coming up after. If you're interested in it, go check it out. But that's not why we're here, Jack. Let's talk about finding new gens. So, at the start of your game, in FM19, some regens are generated just globally, it seems, to kind of pad out player numbers, I guess. You can see here, I have a search filter set up just on the player search screen. I've got my senior package and youth packages both at the highest they can be. I've got players aged between 15 and 16 set. I've got contract status set to expired. You could also try unattached. And then you'll see here, I have America loaded, so I've got based not in North America. The reason for doing this is there are a lot of young players generated at the start of the game at the various US kind of academy teams who are very good occasionally, but they kind of clog up the search. You could go through all of these manually if you wanted to. Occasionally you find a real hidden gem here, but that's not the point in this video. That's something for another time, maybe, talking about finding US Academy regens. So, you can see here we have 5 players. David Scholes is actually a player who I am on the verge of signing, 15 years old, but I didn't find him using this screen, and there's a few other players I've signed already in this save not using this screen, including this guy who I'm hoping is going to accept a contract tomorrow, and it's this guy, Jakob Vidra. It's probably Jakob Vidra. Who knows? He's German, and you can see here he's a very good player, but at 15 years old, he is not a player showing up in the player search screen when we search for him. Now, I'm not sure why he isn't showing up here, but the way I was able to find him is kind of simple. You can go to the transfer screen, obviously, for your own team and see players coming in and out. You can also do this for other teams in your division. And this is how I go about finding out about these players, because for some reason you can't find them in the search, but the AI teams seem to do a really good job of finding these players. So you can see here, Fortuna Dusseldorf are trying to sign this guy, Alan Jurich. I may well sign him. I've already got him being scouted. There was a few other players here. So Vidra has been looked at by Hanover. And naturally, if this guy's been looked at by Hanover, he's probably pretty good. Now, when it comes to offering these players contracts, just as a little bit of additional advice, we'll do it with this guy here because I think I can change his contract offer because he hasn't accepted it yet. When you come to offer these players contracts, they want really low demands, these players that show up. And they do usually stand up. And if they say this line here, my client thinks this is a very acceptable offer, it means no matter what, this guy is now going to sign for us. If you didn't know, that's an additional tip, I guess, a bit of knowledge. If you're in contract negotiations and you see that line, doesn't matter who the other teams are bidding on him, if he says, my client thinks it's a very acceptable offer, that player is going to be yours. But anyway, the way I like to go about finding these players is just through flicking through here. I'll do it for the Bundesliga. You can see we're actually right at the verge of the season starting here, but you could probably do this a little bit earlier. I'd recommend checking it out periodically through pre-season. You could also do it with the second division here in Germany, which is how we found Scholes. If that was his name, I can't remember his name. That's bad, isn't it? I've agreed to sign him, Scholes. We'll go with it. Why not? And you can see here he was actually being looked at by 2 teams in the second division here in Germany. But yeah, these are players who I've spotted the AI going for. I've gone in and I've nipped in and I've done the bidding that you just saw me do on that previous player. And these guys look pretty good. Now, you've got to bear in mind, it's the start of a save game here. This is August of the first kind of seasons. This is pre-regen day. And if we just look at these players, they are going to be in our under-19s, of course, and they have some pretty good potential. So Alan Jurich here, 5-star potential. This may fluctuate, of course, because he's only just joined the club. Regardless, he's going to have some potential. He's going to be worth more than the nothing that we paid for him. He's going to be a good player. The other players, Vidra, you can see here, looks pretty good from the scout report, can improve a lot in the future. And of course, we also signed Scholes, who again, you know, even if he doesn't fully live up to his potential, he's probably going to be a Bundesliga quality player if he can develop. And given the fact we signed these guys on freeze, there's not really a massive risk here. I did already sign 2 players through this method. The first player was Andreas Assel, who again, free transfer, started the save game, generated in Germany. Couldn't see him in the player searches, but saw other teams going for him. And the first player who I signed was actually this guy, Friday Okoye, who I've given a mental contract to. It's going to be £8,000 a week for this guy. But Bayern Munich wanted him, and if Bayern Munich want him, I want him. So I threw as much money as possible at him. I hope he's going to be worth it. Who knows, maybe he'll come good in our Let's Play with Bayern here, and you guys will have to keep an eye on. Of course, here at Bayern, we have players like this guy to look forward to now. And yeah, there's a few other regens here that I've signed just doing this method. Of course, Scott, not one of those, but 5 players within the first kind of transfer window of a new save game. All regens, all German, all players who were unattached to clubs at the start, found through this method. As I said, I kind of found them periodically throughout the pre-season. One of the ways I found these was actually in the news items. It was coming up telling me that players were being bid on. You can see here a bit how you can see Scholl's seals move. I was basically seeing teams making these bids. You can see Luzern here have actually signed a regen themselves, who is a Swiss player. Again, he looks pretty good. Starts as a free agent. I do think this year in FM, currently at least, there are regens that generate as free agents, which look pretty good. So it might be worth keeping an eye out for these. Obviously, I've only applied this in Germany, but I'm pretty certain this is happening in other countries as well. If you experience it in your own saves, you know, maybe you find it works in France, Spain, let me know down in the comments. Obviously, I'm not going to set up save games of every single nation and go through them, but certainly in Germany, there seems like a pretty powerful way to find very, very good regens at the start of a save. Anyway, that's all for this video. Short little tip. Kind of thing. I'd like to do more of these videos. I think they're useful just to drop some knowledge bombs here and there when I discover new stuff about the game. I do hope you enjoyed this. If you found this tip useful, leave a like. Let me know how you get on using this in your own save games. Maybe you've already stumbled across some of these new gens that appear at the start of your FM saves and you've managed to snap a few up. How good did they end up being? Please do let me know. And yes, guys, that's going to be all from me today. Thank you for watching. Remember to go and check out the Bayer Leverkusen Let's Play. Going to be going up very, very soon. Hopefully you guys are pumped for it. And other than that, it is me, Jack, and I will talk to you guys in a bit. I'm out.